Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today, we time traveling back about 5,000 years to one of the most fascinating and mysterious civilizations in human history. The Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan Civilization. Now, for all my fellow UPSC aspirants out there, you know this topic is pure gold for prelims and mains. But forget the dry textbook chapters. We're going to explore this ancient world in a fun, story-like way. And of course, we'll tackle some important PYQs and mock questions to get you exam ready. So, grab your notebooks and let's get started. Picture this. It's around 2500 BCE, while the pyramids are rising in Egypt and Mesopotamian city-states are flourishing. Another great urban culture is thriving right here in the Indian subcontinent. This wasn't some small, isolated settlement. We're talking about a massive civilization spanning over 1 million square kilometers, from modern-day Afghanistan in the north to Gujarat in the south. That's larger than ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia combined. So, how did we even find out about this lost world? It's a great story. In the 1850s, British engineers were building a railway line in Punjab. They stumbled upon these strange, uniformly sized baked bricks and used them for the railway ballast, not realizing they were dismantling ancient cities. It wasn't until the 1920s that archaeologists like Diorem, Sony, and Banerjee officially excavated the sites of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, revealing the sheer scale and sophistication of the civilization. Imagine their shock and excitement. Now, let's talk about what made the Harappan cities so special. Their urban planning was simply mind-blowing for its time. Cities like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa were built on a grid system. Think of it like a modern city block layout, with main streets running north-south and east-west, intersecting at right angles. This wasn't accidental, it was planned. These cities were typically divided into two parts: the citadel, a raised area probably for rulers or public buildings, and the lower town, where the general population lived. And their drainage system, it was an engineering marvel. Every house had a connection to the main street drain. These drains were covered and had manholes for cleaning. Can you believe it? They had better sanitation systems 500 years ago than many places have today. The houses themselves were often built with those famous baked bricks and usually had a private well and a bathroom. This points to a society that highly valued cleanliness and hygiene. So, let's pause for our first UPSC-style question. This is a PYQ from a previous year. Ready? Question. Regarding the Indus Valley Civilization, consider the following statements. 1. It was predominantly a secular civilization, and the religious element, though present, did not dominate the scene. 2. During this period, cotton was used for manufacturing textiles in India. Which of the statements given above are correct? A1, onlibt, onlik. Both 1 and 2D. Neither one nor to think about it for a moment. We'll reveal the answer soon. Okay, let's dive back in. What about the people themselves? What did they do? Agriculture was the backbone of their economy. They grew wheat, barley, mustard, and even cotton. Yes, cotton. The Harappans were among the earliest people to cultivate and weave cotton. They also domesticated animals like cattle, goats, and sheep. But they weren't just farmers. They were master craftsmen. Their pottery, with its distinctive red and black designs, is found all over. But what's truly iconic are the Harappan seals. These are small, square-shaped seals, mostly made of steel, featuring intricate carvings of animals like the bull, rhino, and elephant, and a script that we, to this day, cannot decipher. That's right. The Indus script remains one of history's greatest unsolved puzzles. What secrets are locked away in those symbols? The seals also tell us about their trade. Harappan seals have been found in Mesopotamia, Modernda, Iraq, which means they had extensive long-distance trade networks. Likely, Bysia. Imagine Harappan merchants sailing across the Arabian Sea, trading their cotton textiles and beads for metals and other goods. Now, let's talk about their religion and beliefs. This is where things get a bit speculative, because we can't read their script. we have to rely on interpreting artifacts. We find numerous terracotta figurines of women, often called mother goddesses, suggesting a belief in a female fertility deity. We also see a figure on a seal, seated in a yogic posture, surrounded by animals. Some scholars call him Pashupati or a proto-Shiva. We also see evidence of tree worship and animal worship, particularly the humped bull. However, unlike in Egypt or Mesopotamia, we haven't found any monumental temples or palaces. This suggests that religion might have been a more personal, domestic affair rather than a state-controlled institution. Alright, time to answer our PYQ. The question asked about the secular nature and the use of cotton. Statement 1, about it being predominantly secular, is widely accepted by historians because of the lack of grand religious structures. Statement 2, about cotton use, is also correct. So, the correct answer is C, both 1 and 2. How did you do? Let me know in the comments. Now for a mock question, created just for you. Mock question. Which of the following is not a characteristic feature of Harappan town planning? A, a grid-like pattern for streets. B, an advanced and covered drainage system. C, the construction of massive, monumental temples for public worship. D, the use of standardized baked bricks in construction. Think on this one. It tests your core understanding of their cities. Now, let's address the big mystery. What happened to them? Around 1800 BCE, this vibrant civilization began to decline. The cities were abandoned, the script disappeared, and the trade networks collapsed. Why? There's no single answer, and historians have several theories. One popular theory is climate change. A shift in monsoon patterns could have led to the drying up of the Gagarhakra river system, which was a lifeline for many Harappan settlements. This would have crippled their agriculture. Other theories suggest invasions by Aryan tribes, but the evidence for widespread warfare is weak. It was likely a combination of factors: environmental changes, a decline in trade, and possibly disease that led to a gradual breakdown of their urban society. The people didn't just vanish. They likely migrated to smaller, more rural settlements, and their legacy was absorbed into the subsequent cultures of India. So, let's recap the key takeaways for your exam. Remember the urban planning, grid system, citadel, and lower town. Don't forget the drainage system, a huge, unique selling proposition of the IVC. Key artifacts, baked bricks, seals with animal motifs, and the undeciphered script, and mother goddess figurines. Economy, based on agriculture, crafts, and long-distance trade, with Mesopotamia. Decline, likely caused by a combination of environmental and economic factors. Okay, time to reveal the answer to our mock question. The question was, which is not a feature of Harappan town planning? The options were grid system, drainage system, monumental temples, and baked bricks. As we discussed, while they had religious beliefs, they did not build large, monumental temples like the Egyptians or Mesopotamians. So the correct answer is C. The absence of temples is a key distinguishing feature. I hope this journey through the Indus Valley was both fun and helpful for your preparation. We've covered the major aspects, from their amazing cities to their mysterious decline, and tested our knowledge along the way. Revising topics in this interactive way can really help solidify the information in your mind. What other topics would you like us to cover like this? Drop your suggestions in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching and learning with me today. Remember, consistency is key in this UPSC journey. Keep up the great work, stay curious, and keep revising. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow aspirants, and don't forget to subscribe for more fun history lessons and UPSC prep content. Until next time, happy studying.